First we will see practically how we can create an array, how to collect values inside array, how to retrieve, all these things we can see. Okay, first I'm just declaring the array. Okay, I am declaring an integer array int a. We can declare two ways actually. This way, new int, every array is an object inside Java. Okay, so new int of 5. Okay, so now I declared an array. Even we can declare different way, like this. Instead of giving bracket here, can give it here. This is also correct. Okay, but recommended practice is the second one. This is recommended one. Okay, now I'm just commenting the first one. How we can print the length of an array. Okay, how we can print the length of an array. We'll print, there is a method called length, a dot length. Length is a method where we can get the length of an array. See, right now I declared size 5, right? So if we print it, it will give 5. See, it's giving 5. Length of an array is 5. Now we didn't initialize any values, right? By default, without initializing any values, if you created an array, by default, based on the data type, it will assign default value. Here we took integer, so integer will have zeros. If you take float, 0.0 is the default value. So default value automatically assigned for that particular integer based on the data type. Okay, length of an array. Okay, and how we can point out indexes. What's the advantage of index? Suppose if you want to print the first value of an array, so you need to, array index will start from 0 to till end. So if size is 5, the last index is 4. Okay, why? Because 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, index will start from 0. That's why if the size is 5, index, last index will be 4. Okay, how we can access using index? So I want to print the first element inside this an array. I didn't given any value, so that by default it has to print 0. Why? Because for integer default value is 0. That's why it has to print 0. I am trying to access the first element in this array. Okay, first element. First element, how we can access? What is the index? Index starts from 0, so first index is 0. Okay, so I am taking a of 0. Okay, now if I print, it will print 0. See, first element 0, length is 5. So now if you want to give some values into a array, so then how we can do it? We can do using for loop. If you don't know for loop, I already given a video regarding for loops and all control flows in last video, so please go through that video. I will leave that video in cards. Okay, so how we can write a for loop? See, this is the way we can write a for loop in Java. Int I equal to 0, I am declaring inside the loop. I less than, I am taking length. Till that length we need to assign the value, correct? So a dot length. So a dot length means it will give 5. 0 to 4. 0 to 4. So 0 to 4 we need to insert values I plus plus. So each and every time, how we are accessing an element inside an array? Index we are passing inside the brackets. Similarly, here we can insert the value also. How we can insert? I equal to, I am passing 1. I'm passing I. Okay, I initially it will be 0, 0 1 2 3 4 till 4 it will insert values into array. Okay, after then I will try to print the array. After this for loop I will try to print the array. Don't get confused. Initially first I declare an array with size 5. Okay, then I print the length. How we can print the length? Using a dot length. A means array, array dot length. Okay, a of 0 means it will give the first value, a of 1 means it will give the second value, a of 2 means it will give the third value. So index will start from 0 to till end, right? If size is 5, last index is 4. If size is 10, last index is 9. Don't get confused between index and length. Okay, now I am trying to insert values into an array using a for loop. If you don't know for loop, go through the control flows video. Okay, here we are incrementing from 0 to till length 5. Till 5 means 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, total 5 values, but it's starting from 0. We are inserting value into array. What is the index? We are starting from 0 to till 4. Okay, like that we are inserting. After then what we are doing? We are printing the values. We are just confirming all values got inserted or not. I am just cross checking by printing the values. Okay, if you run this, then you will get all the values. See, 0 1 2 3 4. We started from 0, that's why we are getting from 0 to 4. Okay, 5 values, 0 to 4. This is the way we can insert values and retrieve values from an array. And there is another way of initialization. How we can initialize? We can even initialize at the time of declaration. I will show you how we can do that with another array. Be equal to, see here itself we can give like 1 2 3 4. So now tell me what is the size of array? Size of array B, 4 values are there. Size is 4. What is the last index? 3. What is the first index? 0. If we didn't provide any values, by default it will be zeros, but here you provided values at the time of declaration itself. So if you want to print this array, print all the values from this array, you can use this method. You can print. Okay, in place of here you can place B. So from 0 to till last index it will print. So I'm running. See 1 2 3 4. It's printing from 1 2 3 4. Why? Because here we given just 4 values. We can call these type of arrays or single dimensional array. Here we have only one dimension. If you place this array inside another array, then we can call that as multi-dimensional array. How we can do, how we can create multi-dimensional array, how we can iterate, that we will see now. See, even without, if you try to give array without size, it will give compile time error. See what it is saying? Variable must provide either dimension expression or array initializer. Array initializer is nothing but this one. Okay, this is without declaring size. If you try to declare an array, you will get a compile time error. Okay, so we'll check. If you declare float array, see if you declare float array, and if you try to print values, what it will print, we'll just check. Okay, here I am placing, in place of B I am placing F now. So values should be 0.0. Why? Because it's a float, right? So default value will be 0.0. See, 0.0. Without declaring size, it's not possible. Even with float, even with any of the array, it's not possible. And you can't store any decimal value into integer array. Suppose here if you try to do that, you will get compile time error. Mismatch, cannot convert from double to int. See, it is treating that 1.5 as a double, so it can't insert into integer array. So for that you need to take double array, then only you can insert it. Okay, and one more thing, size should be always be integer. We should not give like 1.5 like that, so it won't take. So integer only it will allow. Okay, these are the rules we have to follow while declaring an array, while initializing an array. If you didn't declare anything, 5 points you have to remember here. Whenever you declare an array, you need to provide the data type and you need to provide size. Okay, once you declared with some data type, you can't insert another data type value into that particular array. Next one is, whenever you are declaring an array, you have to provide the size, otherwise you need to even provide initialization. You can do the initialization. Even you can declare an array with a size 0. So even if you given size 0, that's fine. Okay, and array also is an object. Okay, array also is an object. In case if you declare the size as 0 and if you try to access some index, size 0 means index will be 0 only, there will be no elements, right? So if you try to insert here, I am trying to insert here, what will happen? Let's see. You will get a runtime exception. See, we will get a array index out of bound exception. This is runtime exception. We can discuss regarding this in later section called exception handling in Java. Okay, but if you try to, if your array size is 5 and you are trying to access index 6, then you will get this kind of array index bound out of exception, array index out of bound exception error. Okay, so don't worry if you found this, then that is the meaning you are trying to access some non-existent index. Okay, so here I declared size as 0, so but here I am trying to access more than 0. Okay, that's why we are getting error. Okay, these are all details related to single dimensional array. Now we will look into multi-dimensional array, how we can declare multi-dimensional array. So I will take a separate class for this one, for multi-dimensional array. Okay, in multi-dimensional array, we will place one array inside another array. That is the concept. We know already how to declare a single dimensional array. First, I will declare a single dimensional array. Okay, this is the way we can declare single dimensional array. New int a of 5. Okay, this is single dimensional. How we can declare multi-dimensional? Difference. We have to know the difference. Multi-dimensional means 2 brackets you will get here. Okay, here I am giving b equal to new b, I am giving 2 and I am giving 3. So here I am providing 2 sizes. One is here we are providing 2 sizes. One is 2, 3. What is this 2, 3? So 2 is the array size, 3 is the arrays inside that array size. It is like See, this is an array, right? Inside this array we have multiple arrays of size 3, 1, 1 comma 2 comma 3, 1 comma 2 comma 3. See, this is the meaning of this 2 3. My array size is 2. Inside an array there are 2 arrays having size 3. We can even declare this one here like this. Okay, this is multi-dimensional array. Okay, so array inside an array, we can call that as a multi-dimensional array. How we can insert values into multi-dimensional array? So for inserting values into multi-dimensional array, there is first we'll see through initialization how we can do at the time of declaration. Okay, I am taking one array of C equal to new int of 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2 I am taking. Okay, so the size of array C is 2 by 2. 2 by 2 array. 2 by 2 means 2 is size of the array. Next to 2 is inside an array there are arrays, right? 2 arrays are there. Those array sizes are 2. Okay, so I am trying to using for loop int I equal to 0, I less than C dot length and I plus plus. Okay, so inside this I am trying to access C of I. C of I is fine. What about other size? So inside C there are multiple arrays, right? How we can access them? We can give one more thing. Okay, so for that what we can do, we have to write one more for loop int j equal to 0, j less than length C plus plus, sorry, j plus plus. Stop. Here we are printing the array. See 0 1 0 1. Why? Because here we are inserting like that, so that's why it's printing like that. Okay, so we're giving 3, then here we need to so now here also we need to give 3. Ready, start 1. Ready, start 1 2 3. Multi-dimensional arrays. So how we can declare multi-dimensional array? Multi-dimensional arrays we can declare like this: int a, array a equal to new int. So we have to provide 2 brackets. So this is multi-dimensional array. Okay, in this array we can store multiple arrays. So I am giving size 2 comma 2. Okay, that means here also we need to give multi-dimensional brackets. So we have 2 brackets, then it is multi-dimensional. Here what's the meaning of here is we can store values like this. Inside an array we have 1 comma 2, another one 3 comma 4, 2 arrays inside a array. Okay, the size of an array is 2 and inside array size also 2. So this is a multi-dimensional array. How we can initialize multi-dimensional array means we can initialize multi-dimensional array like this. So if we're giving like this, every array is separated by comma. Okay, this is multi-dimensional array. So how we can access values from a multi-dimensional array? For int I equal to 0, similar to previous one. Okay, I less than a dot length. So here we have 2 lengths. One is outer area length, outer array length, and next one is inner array length. So here I am taking size as 2. Why? Because I given 2. So 2 I plus plus, and if you want to access inside array, then you need to write one more array where it will access in inner array. Okay, so here I am taking j, here 2 2, right? So inner array also I am taking as 2 size, and here I am writing one more loop. This loop is accessing the inner array. So how we can print it? So I am just print now. Now a of I j, a of I j. So we execute this, then you will get all the values inside an array. See 1 2 3 4, that's what we given here, right? So here a of 0 1 means 0 means this element, inside this 1 means this element. So if you try to print outside, just for confirmation, a of 0 and 1 means 1 comma 2 is the value we need to print. See, we need 2. If you give an 0 here, then it will print 1. Why? Because the first value is 1. This is the way we can work with multi-dimensional array. So these are the basics of array. So even you can declare string array, byte array. There are different types of arrays you can even declare based on your usage. Okay. So try to practice with your own set of arrays, and only thing is here, whenever you are declaring, you need to provide the size. Don't get confused with the multi-dimensional array. Even you can declare like this, 1 comma 2 comma 3. So if you declare like this, it's a multi-dimensional array. So here we have inside array there are 3 arrays actually. Sorry, I missed the new. Okay, so this is the way you can even declare. This is array. How we can represent in the pictorial format? In a picture, I will try to represent this so that you will get better understanding what it is. I am taking a paint. So inside paint, I will try to draw this, how the values will be. So I'm taking the paint. First we will draw the array, outer array. Okay. What is the size? Only 1. So there is only one value. Okay. Inside that, what we are saying, next size is 2. Inside that there is an array with having 2. So I am taking another color, red. Okay, inside this there is an array with 2. So here size is 2. So we have to divide this. 2 means 0 1. Okay, inside this we have one array which is having two dimensional array again. So in this, what they're saying, one more array is 3. So inside this first array we have 2 arrays. Inside the second array we have 3 arrays basically. I am taking some green color. Array of size 2, inside this array of size 3. 1 3. Similarly 3. So this is the meaning of this one. First one array, inside that we have two arrays, inside that we have three arrays. So this is the way we can store values. So this is a multi-dimensional array. So here I declared with three-dimensional array. So here 1 2 3. See, first one is the outer array, second one, inside that we have two arrays with size 2, and inside that we have size 3, inside that we have array size of 3. This we can represent like this. See, this is the way we can understand. This is the outer array, inside that we have one array, that size is 2, inside that we have two arrays which size 3. That's why we given 1 2 3. This is the way we can declare three-dimensional array. Don't get confused with three-dimensional array or four-dimensional array. Okay, so outer array size will be the first one. Inside that we have an array of 1 which is having size 2. Next we have one more array that is having size 3. Okay, there are two arrays inside that is size 3. Okay, this is how we can declare multi-dimensional array. This is the arrays concept. Just try with all these practicals. So we'll meet in next video with another topic. Okay, please try to practice more on arrays so that you will get better understanding. If you don't know control flows, here I am using for loop, right? So if you are not aware of for loop, please go through my previous video control flows. There I explained for loop and while loop and all these things. Okay, thanks for watching this video. Okay, please subscribe to my channel, share it to your friends, and click on bell icon so that you will get a notification whenever I upload a video. Thank you. We'll meet in next video with another topic. Goodbye.